Of course, many people are worried about the measles outbreak here in Houston, but some parents may be afraid to actually get their kids vaccinated because of their immigration status. David Gonzalez verifies.
Brenda Hay asks, can KHOU confirm that local clinics will not contact ICE or the United States Department of Homeland Security about the legal status of children who get vaccinated? To verify this question, we actually reached out to the Houston Health Department. Health officials say it's a fear that they're dealing with more and more, but the reality is that they don't collect that information in the first place. They don't have the information to provide to anybody who would request it. What they're looking for in most cases is something that proves that they live in Houston. Clinics offer vaccinations at their health centers, and they encourage all children to get the MMR vaccine. So we can verify that local clinics will not contact immigration about the legal status of children who get vaccinated. Back to you.
Is there something you want us to look into? Email verify@khou.com or reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter with the hashtag KHOU Verify.